What is behind the thinker? Meaning, is there something that creates the thought? Is there a thinker? Is there a source from a place of original arising that creates this idea of sounds, syllables, words, making up some sort of meaning, appearing as a thought, and directed at you, to possibly take on an action. That damned question, who, where, what, why. That's the conniving thought. The speaker opened his uttering with a question, what is behind the thinker? That what? That conniving what? Meaning the speaker actually either believes or has some sort of association or some knowledge about something thinking all of this. In religion, they call it a God. In atheism, they call it I, me. I am the thinker. This body is the thinker. In spirituality, they call it the soul is handing out lessons to the body to try and overcome certain things so that it can transcend into some sort of new way, new life, new possibly reincarnation. How to understand this question? What is behind the thinker? Meaning, is there a thinker? Or what is the thinker's purpose? Is to understand primarily what is behind the thought. We take the thinker for granted as me, I, God, life, consciousness, whatever. We take it for granted. So the only concentration is on the thought. And this is awakening. So the thought appears. Any thought. Who am I? That's the most common, famous thought. Most contemporary thought today. To discover who this thinker is. If I'm going to discover who the thinker is, and I assume that I am the thinker, for now, let's analyze and discover and inquire who this thinker is by asking that damned question thought, taking it right to the front, being brave, with no fear of what the outcome will be, and ask, who am I? Two things happen. One, the mind replies on your behalf. Well, you are the body. You are Graham. You are a person. You're a human. You're a man. And then it can follow up with hundreds and hundreds of other thoughts about what you are. Because the mind itself does not know what you are. The mind created the name body. The mind created the name man. The mind created the name human. The mind created the name form. The mind created the name realm. You had no say, whoever you are. The other way is nothing comes. Absolutely nothing comes. Mind is quiet. I'm not allowing mind to participate. Therefore, nothing comes. So this exercise is wholly pointless for the mind. Totally pointless. Mind needs an answer. Whenever a question is risen, mind seeks that answer. It has to have an answer. Job not done till answer is reached. No one talks about the third way. Are you analyzing the thought? You, the apparent thinker, or mind, are you analyzing that thought? Or are you just expecting, through your laziness, mind to reveal the answer? Are you content with this nothing? I'm nothing. There's nothing coming thought. The true seeker, the true awakened, the true being analyzes the thought. How to analyze that thought? Who am I? The answer? Absolute non-participation of the thought reveals that what is behind. Meaning, the thought is in front of you. The thought is there. The thought can be inside of you. The thought can be anywhere. But it is there. It is absolutely seen. It is never coming and going anymore. It is there. It has to remain still. Who am I? The non-participation of the thought means a you not participating with the thought. But you as the non-participation. Confused? Mind absolutely has to be confused with this. If you're not confused, you're not doing it properly. Meaning, to try and connect you with this non-participation that you are, you have to become the space between what you imagine as a you, in any way true or here. So there's no association to the you that is thinking. This space that is between this you that you imagine, that you are, and the actual thought, who am I, which is now blatantly here, but is also neither true, but just a passing, but still thought. So the space between the thinker, or the apparent thinker, or the assumed thinker, or you, and the thought, who am I, reveals that what will lead you, not you, will lead itself to its original state. Let me go over that again. To find out what is behind the thinker, meaning the purpose, meaning the originality, the source of the thinker, we have to find out what is behind the thought. And non-participation of the thought reveals that what is behind the thought. Non-participation of the thought reveals that what is behind the thought. Non-participation does not mean a you not participating with the thought, but to become the non-participation. The space between what you imagine as a you, in any way true, or in any way here, or in any way believing that this is what I am, and the actual thought that really is also neither true, is never understood, because there's no mind, no thinker that has been already conditioned into planning that who am I is me, this person, this thing. So there's no information, no knowledge, no understanding, no connection between the value of the thought, or the savoriness of the thought, or the meatiness of the thought, or the silliness of the thought. It is simply a thought. Who am I? Words passing by, constantly following itself around and around, with no space between the thought. So the thought is passing, but it's not moving. You are the space between that which you thought you are and that what the thought is. You are the non-participation. You have to become the non-participation, meaning that movement, that space that apparently didn't exist before, but now becomes your home, becomes your true self, becomes beyond I, the thinker, and beyond the thought that keeps I, the thinker, prisoner to the thought that it thought it was.